that you shouldn't
Yes,
have
I
boys
do,
in girls'
and
sports.
I think that former boys also should not compete against women in their sport.
Thank you. Okay, enough said. Don, are you willing to defend the fact of, would you defend that? Or are
I
you
would
just
just
saying
say-
it's not big enough?
I'm just saying they need to adjust. Adjust the whole situation. You may have to give a 2-second penalize this, but it's not blown out. It's blown out of proportion. It's not that relevant what what the right is saying, that it's so out of order that it's destroying America's values.
So you're saying it's not big enough, Don?
It's not big enough.
Welcome to Third Side Convo with your host, Bob Phipps. Our panelists today are Don Thomas, Jeff Klein, Michelle Walters, and Jeff Barrett. And now, your host, Bob Phipps.
All right, folks, welcome to another episode of Third Side Convo, where we try real hard not to lose our minds, even while talking about a world that right now seems to be doing just that. Now, I'll be honest, one of our own panelists, Teddy, we call him, gave us a wake-up call. He said, this show should be on fire with everything that's happening in a country right now. It's so divided. But instead, it's been a little sleepy. So tonight, we're turning up the heat. No filibusters, no TED Talks, just sharp takes, fast rebuttals, and maybe a few barstool interruptions along the way. The topic, pretty simple. Is the other side out of their freaking mind?
Yes.
From flag burning to book banning to boys and girls sports, we're hitting the crazy from both sides. And hey, maybe there's a method to the madness, so let's find out. So I'm going to start with Don, who I know, based on the emails and the texts I see from him, thinks that some people are crazy. I don't necessarily answer them or get involved in them, but Don, start out. Where is the right crazy on? Give me one issue.
Oh, man. How about the new right? I call it the new right. The new right thing are crazy on almost all levels. Immigration,
901. Give me one.
They're on everything.
No.
COVID,
Give me,
name it.
Give me a specific. We got to get specifics tonight.
Well, let's say health. I'll go health.
They're not healthy. Okay, Jeff.
No, not they're delusional about health. How about that one?
What? They're delusional about it. Can you?
They're delusional
about what's going on with COVID, what's going on with vaccines, and other stuff about health of Americans. So they're crazy about. So, what do you think?
That's the one topic that's not left or right, Bob. Sorry, Don.
Don. Okay.
Don.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
How about religion?
Okay, they hate religion too? Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're crazy about religion. They don't understand what religion is.
Oh.
What is religion?
Okay,
Don?
hold on. Don, you're going to be benched for a second. Okay, Michelle, can you name something that the left does that is absolutely insane and doesn't make sense? Michelle.
You know what, though, actually, I have to admit, though, I'm going to sit there and, kind of put a pause on that, because when I was looking at the original topic on this, and I was looking at some of the most heinous things that stopped me and made me go, okay, well, this is absolutely preposterous and crazy. Unfortunately, it was a public figure, and it happened to be on the right, and that was Alex Jones.
Well, say the issue. What was the issue?
That he stated that the Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax, that it was completely incorrect. And to me, that was the most preposterous information that I think that I've ever heard in my whole entire life.
But again, you don't have to be left or right to disagree with Alex Jones.
No, but just being able to sit there and give that man a platform, though, I think that, he was insane.
How about the obvious Trump?
All right, no saying that word. Nailed on. Jeff. Okay, we're going to start out again, that like I just did the info, and I went to Jeff Klein first, because he actually read the memo on this, what this show's about. Where is the right absolutely crazy? It doesn't make sense. Specifically.
The right is absolutely crazy because they still support our president.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so somehow the current administration, in other words, they're not as pissed as you about this current administration. Is that right?
They don't object to him violating the Constitution. time and time again.
Jeff Barrett, can you possibly answer that?
I will tell. Well, do I have to answer Jeff, or can I tell you what I'm?
Well, answer
pissed
Jeff real
off
quickly,
about?
and then you get your own.
About what was his?
Well, it's hard to say, but he doesn't like the current administration. That seems to be what it
Well,
is.
that's
That's
and
not
how
what
can-
I said. I said he keeps violating the Constitution.
Ah,
and
okay.
the Republicans-
Yes.
Well, I mean, we're not sitting there and giving
Okay, where is he violating? Okay, let's
Yeah.
get to specifics here. This is a crazy
Yeah.
show.
Specifically,
Where
let's
does
talk
he
about the
specifically
LGBT.
violate the Constitution? Where? Just
Being
give us
federal
one
Up and
issue.
down.
One issue.
I have a
Federal
topic.
troops in Washington, D.C.
Okay,
Freedom of speech.
federal troops in Washington, D.C. Can anybody on the right say why federal troops in Washington, D.C. might not be a bad idea? Hope one of y'all can do it.
It's not going to be like no. It's not going to be. It's not a bad idea because we're actually seeing though that the crime rates are going down. As a matter of fact, I actually saw it though on the news this morning. Though the mayor was in an agreement though with Trump. I mean, if you were to look at
Uh-oh,
this
we got the
list-
Trump again. Killer. Okay, that's it. All right, now we're going to Barrett. We're trying to be quick thoughts. Okay, we said
All right.
she said she wants crime down. Okay, and obviously, okay. Jeff
Well, if you're
Barrett,
gonna-
where
if you're
are
gonna-
the
They're picking up
liberals?
garbage cans.
Where are the
I'm not
liberals
gonna
nuts?
Tell you where the liberals are nuts. The liberals are nuts. First of all, trying to think that we can live off solar power only and electric cars. That is the most ridiculous. One of the best things in technology was a hybrid car where you had the best of both worlds. But we skipped over that 4 years or 5 years ago. And now they're expected to get rid of all petroleum, all combustible cars.
We are not.
One leader who proposes that.
That's one leader. We are not.
Oh.
No one. Okay.
So you're not wanting to get rid of all this. All that.
No.
So you don't have a problem with still drilling for petroleum. Is that what you're saying?
No, we're just trying to say you're going to run out of petroleum pretty soon, man. So,
So what are you going to do, Don? You're going to run out of
well, we're going to
sunshine
run out of it pretty
soon.
soon. So it's going to have to you have to have some kind of alternative power. That's what we're saying. And then also it'll cut down the emissions, what's going on in the world, so we can breathe. That's
What
what
are you
they're that's
gonna
what
do
they're saying.
with all
That's why
these old
solar power and
batteries,
energy is
Don?
coming into play. So
Clean
we can
energy. Yeah. Sorry.
Talk
so we
about
cannot be
being-
reliant on it too much because eventually we're going to run out of it. And
Okay, that's good.
the issue.
Okay, Jeff.
You know
Jeff
what, though, one of
Keith.
the things-
Oh, go on, Michelle. Go. Y'all
Well, I
just.
mean, one of the things that I think that where I'd like to be able to sit there and discuss is I don't necessarily agree with the position on the left on the LBGT, whatever it is. I mean,
That's
all
crazy,
these
too.
pronouns. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't necessarily support on
Well,
being able to sit there and be in favor of I need to make sure that I am in pronunciation of the proper terms. I'm not in favor of boys or transgenders being in girls' sports. Absolutely, unequivocally, none whatsoever.
Okay, let's stop
Well,
with
you guys
those
are
two.
gone-
Let's stop with
You-
those two. Left, answer that one, please.
They've gone crazy on the absurdity of all this stuff, transgender and stuff in sports. There's 11 people that was transgender in the Olympics or whatever. 11 people across the nation in women's sports were already saying all these different stuff. So they're making make a gigantic hill out of all these transgender people in sports.
I mean,
It's not that many. It's not that many taking over sports. So they've gone crazy. They've gone crazy on the whole gay and the army, gay and the
Okay,
whole
Don, that's good enough.
transgender.
So you're saying the right is crazy for bringing it up, and the left is
Yes.
crazy, and the left is crazy for saying that you should have, boys and girls sports. Keith, what's your view on boys and girls sports? Klein, I mean. Why did I say Keith? Klein.
Yeah.
Klein.
Klein.
I'm having to go to last names here. We got
I
two
think
Jeff.
it's pretty. I think it's pretty ridiculous, but I don't think it's a big enough issue for anybody to spending any time on.
Yes.
There's
Big enough issue.
NCAA
It
athletes.
is a huge issue. No, I mean, the thing is,
There's
it's not
11
necessarily-
people.
11.
Not just 11 people. Are you guys
Out of
kidding me?
350
Absolutely.
million.
No, I mean, you're not sitting there and getting people going into the administration over 11 freaking people. No, I'm sorry, it's not. We're talking about this on a high school and on a college, on a college level.
That's
where
how many
there are
trans
people that-
athletes there are in the NCAA.
They're being looked over on their scholarships, their
Okay.
ratings, their ability to be able to sit there and move on.
Y'all
to the
going
next
crazy over that crap.
Okay,
This is
so
overboard.
hold on a second. Well, let me just ask you this. Let's put it a different way. Klein, do you understand why Michelle is saying it shouldn't happen? That you shouldn't have boys and girls sports?
I think that former boys also should not compete against women in their sport.
Thank you. Okay, enough said. Don, are you willing to defend the fact of, would you defend that? Or are you just saying it's not big enough?
I'm just saying they need to adjust. Adjust the whole situation. You may have to give a 2-second penalize this, but it's not blown out. It's blown out of proportion. It's not that relevant what what the right is saying, that it's so out of order that it's destroying America's values.
So you're saying it's not big enough, Don?
No, it's not big enough.
Okay, that's fine. All right, but the right still thinks you're crazy for even trying to defend it. Okay, so let's come up now with something on the left. It's the left's turn. Can y'all come up with something that the right is crazy about and stop bringing up, the president, let's say?
How about the Second Amendment?
Okay.
On guns. You guys are crazy about guns and don't understand what the Second Amendment means. You're gone too far with the guns and everything. You've gone way too far because you want one thing and you don't want safety with the guns, but as long as you want to put more guns in people's hands, and then you don't want to deal with the magnitude of what's happening with
that's enough. You've explained it. Okay, who wants to tackle that one? Go.
No, I mean, with regards to guns, the Second Amendment isn't about. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. It's not a right to bear, 15,000 guns. It's not that. It's a right to be able to sit there and bear arms, which I do believe, absolutely. And there is a problem. I mean, 100%. I'm in agreement upon that. But I do believe that we do have the right to be able to sit there and own a gun. I do believe that we do have a right to be able to protect ourselves in a situation to where we are in harm or in danger. So
you got a right to an AK-47 and slaughter people?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm in agreement there with you to where there should be some parameters and some limitations that are placed on it. But I do believe that as an American citizens, though, we have a right to bear arms.
Does a 16-year-old has a right to have an AK-47?
No, absolutely.
Does a 18-year-old have a right to AK-47?
No, you know what? There was 16-year-old.
Does anybody need a 30-round magazine for their pistol or an automatic weapon to go hunting?
My son's friends would go shooting out in the middle of nowhere, absolutely harming nothing other than a possible bear or an alligator or whatever it was.
Does criminals have a right to have guns?
Okay, remember, we're looking for things that they're actually crazy on. Y'all understand. Don, you understand the Second Amendment. You know the right to protect yourself or the ability to protect yourself. Not really necessarily you think they're crazy. Now, do you think they love their guns too much? Possibly. All right, we're going to go ahead and have to take our first break now, though. Believe it or not, we had a lot of screaming and yelling. I didn't know how this show was going to go, but it doesn't matter. But here's what I need you to do. If you're watching this show, it's just 4 regular people sitting around and talking about stuff. They got preconceived stuff and all this, but I would love for you to comment. I mean, we're a community. This is not a broadcast. I mean, we're a community that's building up. And so please, when you get on this, let us know what you think. And please subscribe, like, and all that other stuff. But we'd like to hear from you. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. The Tri-Beer Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now to get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com.
All right, we're back for this craziness. So here's what I'd like now. See if you can nail it down to one specific thing that you think the other group is really just absolutely insane about, all right? So who is up for the next one? It's just a specific item. You're going to say it in probably 10 seconds as to why you think the other side is insane. Jeff, Klein is going to start this.
Like me.
Klein.
Me.
I said Klein.
Too
Then
many
you. Then we go to you
Okay,
next.
all right.
Too many on the right are against choice for a woman between her and her doctor and her family.
All right.
Abortion.
Oh, good one.
We're
Good
talking
one.
about abortion.
Yes.
And lots of other things too, but
Let's
primarily
just do one at
abortion,
a time. One at a time. Okay. Anybody want to answer that on the right?
But, I mean, and it's hard for me because that's one of those things to where I'm for choice, you know,
Okay.
and I don't necessarily follow with party lines on that particular issue. I think that it is a woman's choice, and it's her and her body, and it's her determination. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, that one, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, Jeff, are you having to pay child support on any ones that you don't know about yet, or is that an
Not
issue
yet.
with you? No, I was wondering if Barrett was. Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Okay, yeah. So you probably don't have any rights on that one, do you? Probably it's hard to even have an opinion. I always said we'd never do an abortion show. I was out of the country for one show. Joe did the show and he did it on abortion, but never mind.
Of course he did.
Barrett,
It was
do you have
good.
why? Okay, so why is the right sometimes a little crazy on abortion? What's your view for that?
Who you asking?
Barrett, I'm asking Barrett. I'm sorry, I know y'all is Jeff. Barrett, what is the defense to the right as to why abortion maybe shouldn't be there?
What is the
What is-
general? Are you asking my opinion or?
I'm asking your opinion. What, in other words, you're representing the right, so
Yeah.
what would the right say to the fact of that why they don't like abortion?
Well, because of the beginning of life is the where their stance is. When a heartbeat starts, morally, there is question on stem cell research and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right, but
I mean,
basically
it's
the
complicated.
so what you're
But that's
saying is
what-
the people
that's
that
the right
believe that
stance.
aren't necessarily crazy. They have a valid argument, correct?
Right.
Okay,
And it's
there we
usually
go.
faith-based.
Okay, Michelle, you're next. Where is the left crazy on a topic? Give me another one for the left.
Open borders. I mean,
Oh.
absolutely open borders. Well, you know what? There's a couple of
That's
things. Open
another
borders
name.
on one of them, and protecting some of these
How's it
illegal
made up?
immigrants that have come in here who have done
Because
hate
nobody
crimes
ever
and wanting to sit
ran
there
for
and
office on
especially
open
with regards
borders.
to this, whatever Garcia.
Okay, Michelle, they want to answer your question on open borders. They're claiming that they actually don't want open borders, right, Jeff? Klein.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody ever ran for office on open borders. Nobody
what's the
ever
catch and release
instituted a
program all
law.
about?
Nobody instituted a law calling for open borders.
They just let did they just let people in or
I'm
what?
sorry.
Michelle?
No. Well, what was your question, Michelle?
Well, I mean, my question though is, I mean, I don't understand though the whole catch and release program that took place quite a bit though on the previous administration. And if
Yeah.
somebody was going to sit there and commit a crime, they were able to sit there and commit the crime and then be able to know that they were walking right out the door 2 seconds later.
No, let's talk about catch and release. Catch and release
Absolutely.
became
No,
a
let's do.
thing.
Absolutely.
It's
The catch and release became another catchphrase for the right.
that's
Because
right.
People were grabbed to claim asylum. They were told you have to have the courts were so backed up that they didn't have hearings available for them for months. So they let them go and gave them a court date, and over 90% of them showed up for their court date. Now we're
And
talking.
then they're arresting them at their court dates.
Hey,
That's
Michelle.
the new thing. That's different.
Michelle,
I'm
it
talking
looks
about
like we've got the
legit-
answer.
A legit
You're not
system that the left supports, and the right doesn't like the system that was working.
It was never working.
So they started screaming about open borders,
It was
and they kept
never
refusing
working. Look at the
to add
statistics
more
right now
judges
as we
to
currently
the
stand.
immigration
It's where we
courts,
stand.
and they kept refusing to add more money to help make that system work, and they refused for 30 years to have a decent law, and then
we
they
definitely
passed
gone
the
past the
decent
30
law,
seconds. Okay,
and then
we got
voted
past.
against it.
Let's back up. We're getting a little far afield. So Michelle is saying that y'all want open borders. You're saying you don't want open borders. And
No.
Michelle, I'm just trying to summarize here, but Michelle is saying a hell of a lot of people came in the last administration that was taken rather lightly, and you're saying it's resources. Okay. All right. Well, They still think you're crazy because they still think you want open borders, but then you think they're crazy about these other things. All right.
Well, I don't necessarily.
This one, they also crazy about crime.
Who's got another one? Oh, that's another one. Yeah, what are the Democrats for crime?
The rights are crazy about crime. They think they overblown crime like it's the worst thing. They always overblowing it out of proportion. Like all these immigrants that's committed all these crimes, 20 million people committed crime. How many people have they arrested? Immigrants that did all these crimes. If they saying all these people did all these crimes, we couldn't even walk outside of our house.
Okay,
so they were overblown the whole crime
stop.
thing.
Okay, so stop. Go back to that. Okay, Jeff or Michelle, who wants to jump in on that crime is still out there?
Go ahead, please. You can do it.
Well, you want to defund the police in a bunch of major cities, so of course you're going to have a lot of crime. But what are you talking about?
Who's the biggest defunders? Who's defunding everybody right now? Who's defunding every goddamn thing in the United States? Who's the biggest defunders happening right now?
Well, you're talking about on one hand that the fact the right is putting federal police in some of these cities like DC, and on the other hand, you're saying that like Washington and Seattle and these states, they didn't defund the police. They didn't strip these offices and departments down to nothing and put all those people in danger. And you, of all people, Don, should know better, right?
What do you mean, me of all people? I'm just saying the funding was blown out of proportion. They wasn't talking about defunding. They're defunding all these guns and all these ammunition, and all these SWAT people and all this stuff. That's what they're talking about. But they were defending community policing, help domestic people. That's what we're talking about, taking that money away from the guns and all the tanks and all the other crap and put it in for community policing. That's what they were talking about. They wasn't talking about defunding the whole police.
Okay, Don, that was a great defense of the fact that the funding to peace is there. They having to back up from that, we'll say. Right? Is that what you're saying? They're having to back like the border stuff.
More weapons.
Okay, y'all are backing up. Now, I want to know about the left. Give us one more, and then this is it. I want just quick, and we'll start out the next show with it. What's the next one on the left that the right's crazy about? They got you on the defunding the borders. It's your turn, left. Where's the right?
COVID.
Okay, think it out better than that. Okay, I'm going to have y'all start out. What's that?
Christian government.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I don't know if we can talk about that, but we'll see. Okay, we've got to go in and take our break now. We're going to go in and take our next break, and but please jump on and subscribe. But again, we can't do anything without hearing from you. So please jump on this crazy episode and just comment. You got to realize when people get together and they want to talk, they just go, and that's okay. But, can you learn a little bit about what the other person thinks? That's what we're trying to do here. We'll be right back.
Corona Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
I don't think we've ever had a show where we've talked about so many different topics. In the beginning, we thought about that. It goes so crazy. Okay, I offered the left. Can y'all come up with something specific? Just give me something specific that the right's crazy about.
Christian nationalism.
I don't understand what Christian nationalism means.
I can tell you exactly.
What's the point?
It means
the right don't know what it means.
There's a bunch of Republicans in the federal government and in state legislatures who want to pass laws based on the Christian Bible, nobody else's Bible. The Christian Bible. They believe this is a Christian nation. Things like prayer in school, things like here in Texas or in Louisiana where they stuck the Ten Commandments up everywhere. Here in Texas, our Republican Party, part of their platform is more Christianity in government.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's good. That's good.
I mean,
Okay,
we
right.
have
How do you
God
respond to
on
that?
our dollars.
How do you respond?
I mean, that's you know what I mean. The origination, that is our forefathers. That, you know what I mean. That is what's based upon the creation of the United States. Is, you know what I mean, our belief in God, our belief in Christianity, and I understand. I do believe in the separation of religion and state. Absolutely, I do. But when it comes to our rounding formations of certain laws and guidance of how we're supposed to sit there and be as a society, no, absolutely, it is much more of a Christian basis.
So you're saying the concept of we created, and that's a good argument to have for another show, Klein, right, is the whole concept of the Judeo-Christian values, right? You don't have a problem with, you don't hate the values, do you? You're okay with the values, though, right?
But we are a non-religious nation intentionally.
Okay. But you don't think they're crazy. You don't think they're crazy. You just think they're misled, right?
I think the ones who want to convert
some of them are crazy.
Are crazy, yes.
Okay. What, crazy? All right. Well, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's how many do you want? I mean, the Southern Baptist Convention has books on convert the Jews, convert the Muslims, convert those are actual publications that they distribute.
Yeah, but those probably aren't going to make it into the government, but you never know, right? It is a concern. Okay, over on the right, it's your turn.
The Republican platform says more Christianity in government. It's part of their platform.
But again, it's, and you say crazy, you have to look at, in other words, are you having problems with the fact that they talk about the family, or they talk about, you know, maybe even the abortion issue or whatever?
It's fundamentally against our Constitution to say those words.
All right, fair enough.
On our money.
More Christianity in government when our Constitution specifically says there shall be no federal religion.
Okay, good. Okay, on the right, another issue for the left that they're crazy about. Is there any more we can think of?
You go ahead, Jeff. I know it. It's just so much to say. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's like, go ahead. Yeah, no. Not only that, though, I'm sorry. I'm going to sit there and be able to sit there and jump in. How many other nations that, you know, I mean, do you ever sit there and go to Dubai? You know what I mean? Do you not necessarily think that they don't have, you know what I mean, the basis of where their laws, their constitutions and everything are on, you know what I mean, have a basis.
They don't have our Constitution.
All do. Everybody does.
What are we crazy on?
A framework.
Well, hey, we have definitely found something for another show. Michelle, look, I agree.
What are we crazy
so
on?
What I think that you're right. I mean, I think that thinking somebody is crazy is where we should get away from that anyway. That's what we're trying to do on the show. All right, anybody else got on the right got something that the left's nuts about? Anybody?
Well, I think I'll say healthcare when it comes to how we manage national health care, especially during 2020. And unfortunately, it was a healthcare issue that became a political issue and divided the whole country. But the fact that you were making healthy people follow a protocol that now is coming out that was false, but yet nobody on the left wants to own up to it.
Thank
and
you.
They called all of us crazy and all of us that fought against. Look, I've been taking care of my health for 30 years. And if you want to take an unregulated shot, power to you. But don't make me take it or don't threaten my job over it. And that's where our rights really gotten taken away. And now it's come out that they were wrong. And the studies have proven that, you shouldn't be giving it to young kids or to healthy adults. And even one of the guys, one of the scientists that came up with the mRNA, he also stated that
okay, excellent argument. Okay, let's listen to the other side. Jeff, you made your point very well. Other side, do you understand why he thinks like he does?
I admit that there is some part about putting people because of their job and stuff like that, but I don't think we're crazy enough to say healthcare for all in this country is not a crazy notion. Giving healthcare where people in this nation, people that have healthcare to take care of themselves, should be a fundamental, almost a fundamental right to help take care of ourselves. So I don't think it's crazy for us to have healthcare for all. And even right now with this big thing about COVID about to hit, they just dismantled almost every vaccine and protocol and everything else.
Hey, Don, you brought up another.
I'm talking about for the, you're talking
the
about
box.
healthcare for
we
all.
got you.
I'm talking about healthcare. Where are you? I'm talking about healthcare.
There you are.
I'm talking about healthcare. You're forcing on people. That's not healthcare. That ended up being a political stunt.
Well, I admit they don't have to force it on people, but they should have the right to. It's not crazy.
Not the same as government healthcare or healthcare for all. That's voluntarily. People, if they're sick, they go to the doctor.
Well, they should be able to go to the doctor.
Kick down their house, threaten their job, and give them a jab. That's all I'm saying, Don.
Well,
Freedom of healthcare. And what happened to the HIPAA laws?
All right, guys. We have now, listen, this is great. Okay, I wish we had a slow start here. A lot of craziness going on. I think if we'd had a little more time on each of these issues, but clearly we need to handle that. Look, we may not have solved anything tonight, okay? But we showed up, we've listened, and we didn't throw chairs. That matters. But here's what I'd love, okay? If something struck you tonight, and drop it in the comments. Seriously, the only way this works is when it's a conversation, not a broadcast. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay curious, stay respectful, and hey, maybe call someone you disagree with.